If you're feeling like you have a different relationship to success than most people do, then this one's for you. Success. What is it? How does it feel? I feel like we all grew up with a sort of universal concept of success. We do have the, how can I call it? Life script type of success, right? Where we went to school, got the diplomas, got the training, hanging on the wall. Our parents might have been really proud of that. It was the perfect topic for to get all the attention and and to get a moment of fame. And let's be honest, our parents, they do sacrifice a lot, so I get it. But the thing is, a lot of us, we end up identifying, should I say, over identifying with our success, right? And it looks a very specific way. At least we grew up with a very specific idea of what success looks like, what it should look like. That's what they say. You get the job, the family, the car, the house, the money. All of these things are great. I'm not here to belittle any of these things because we still live in this world of this 1%. Talked about it in previous episode, but the idea is we still live in this physical world. Although we don't fully understand that it's part of a greater, it's a reflection of a greater realm, and we're not necessarily, we shouldn't get lost in those materialistic curriculum, but it's hard to do. And like I said, in this episode, I want to focus on being grounded. I don't want to turn it into some crazy spiritual concept out there. I want to focus on the practical aspect of being human living in this society. We need money, okay? So that's how we end up overvaluing and over identifying with success. Now, if you feel like you are doing quite well for yourself and you're proud of that, you've worked hard for it, but you still feel like you can't fully step into that role and just own it, I want to mention something that might be the reason behind feeling this way. That is, we want to look, let's say like you and a client who comes to me with this problem, the first thing I'd pay attention to in your birth chart is really paying attention to your sun and your Saturn. Are they conjuncting? Meaning, are they right next to one another? The sun is representing your identity. You can see it as your PR, not just your PR. You found that the best PR in town also happens to be a life coach, a therapist, does everything. And that PR is just the best PR ever, and it wants nothing but the best for you. It works over time just to represent your best interest. It's the best cheerleader you could ever dream for. That's your sun. That's the sun. And then we have Saturn. Saturn can be a bit of a party crasher, a bit of that negative Nancy. Saturn comes in, rolls in with the doubts. Saturn is also often called IRS. When you're doing amazing, life is great, and then you get a knock on your door, and next thing you know, you're being audited. Like, really? Can I just enjoy a moment of peace and success and, again, calm? So you can imagine if you have your best cheerleader who's always happy, cheerful, and looking for your best interests. Imagine this person hanging out, being forced to hang out with a bit of the party crasher, negative Nancy, grumpy Mr. Miyagi. So you can see where the tension can come from. That is often a very, very, very common pattern that can explain that, because on the one side you have your success, but then on the other side you have Saturn who's breathing on your back, who's like, yeah, but did you earn this? Did you really work for this? Is that the best you can do? And it often is because Saturn is there to push you. very unconventional way, not necessarily in the way that we would have preferred, but Saturn is that tough love type of coach. Turns out that they're both on your camp, both Saturn and your Sun. It's just that they have different ways of doing things that can often clash. So this is this we need to pay attention to the type of conversation they're having. That's what aspects are. They're literally conversation between the elements in your chart, right? What are they saying to one another? Are they conjuncting, meaning like they're right next to another, like occupying that same seat, so you can see how much it's a lot of tension? Are they opposing one another, where one doesn't even like to acknowledge the other, but there's still that pressure, right? Is it a square? A square would literally be like, it's a fight. Are they, this is what we want to pay attention to. And that's what we do when I am having private sessions with my clients. We are really zooming into the birth chart. Sometimes we're just doing the foundational birth chart to explain what you're working with. And sometimes they come to me because it's a specific issue in their life, and we are working together in order to troubleshooting it from the birth chart by seeing the language that is happening. What is the conversation? What is the pulse between all of the aspects, all of the planets? What are they talking to? What are they saying to one another when they're talking? Because best believe they're always talking to one another. That is literally what aspects are. If you've ever seen a birth chart, all those lines linking one planet to another planet, it's a phone line in a way. You could see it that way. It's conversation and relationship happening between all of those aspects of your chart. So if you feel like there's always that delayed recognition where you can never feel quite comfortable like you've earned it, often it would have to be demonstrated through a kind of challenging aspect in your chart between your Sun and your Saturn. And I don't want you to get scared, my love, because I find it quite exciting that we have access to that information, and knowing is half of the battle, right? Your awareness is literally how you heal. All that healing talk we started doing a few years ago, that's how you do it. But I think it's exciting because you could do it in a very targeted way based on you, personalized to you and your personal issues that you're going through, and your specific chart, your specific signature, energy signature. It's all you. There's not, you don't have you're not gonna find two individuals with the same issues, same exact birth chart, same exact aspects, same planets in the same houses. It's like your birth chart is a bit like your fingerprint. It is unique to you, and that's why I get so passionate using it to troubleshoot the problem in your life. On that note, my love, if that's something that you're struggling with, like I said, all my links are down below. You can book a session with me. And also, I wanted to say that check out my quiz that I recently made. I'm so excited about that one. It's really to help you see your emotional patterns, because that's very important to know. It's literally the tools that you have, and that's how you're operating in life. And check that quiz out to see how you tend to operate and move through life, and how we can troubleshoot it. On that note, I will see you in the next one. Keep shining bright like a diamond. Bye.